The hardest case I've ever tried was in June of 2019. It was the first traumatic brain injury case I had tried, and so I studied up a lot before I tried this case, trying to figure out all the different things to know about traumatic brain injuries and how to try them and how to connect with a jury, because the most difficult part about this case was that as a traumatic brain injury, it's really an invisible injury. So figuring out how to explain that kind of injury to a jury was very difficult. And then on top of that, one issue we had in the case was that between the date of injury and the actual first date of diagnosis was 3 years, 3 months, and 6 days. And that's what defense lawyers love to call a gap. And so going in knowing that we had this huge gap between the injury and diagnosis and treatment was definitely a challenge that we knew we were going to have to face and really embrace in order to win the case. The road to justice is still a long one for our client. Fortunately, though, on the eve of trial, one of the defendants did settle for $1 million, and so our client has gotten some compensation for his injuries and what he's having to live with day in and day out with his traumatic brain injury. But after the trial, the defense did file a motion for new trial saying that the court and jury erred and that they didn't get a fair trial. The trial court denied that, saying that the case had been fairly decided and there were no errors, and so now we're waiting on the Court of Appeals to decide the case, and hopefully it won't have to go up to the Georgia Supreme Court, but we never know. It could take a couple more years to actually fully resolve.